Hi, good day, everyone. This is Sarah Jane Armada from Group 3 with my co-reporters, Mr. Mihala, Giancarlo Dava, and Mervin J. Platel. So our topic will be the water pollution. So these are the objectives. First, we can identify types, sources, and impacts of water pollutants. Next one, value. We can value water conservation and pollution prevention. And the last one would be practice proper waste disposal and engage in cleanup efforts. So, what are the main reason or cause of water pollution? So, as we all know that water is essential for all living things, making up 70 to 90 of living organisms such as animals, plants, including us as a human. But despite its importance, water is often misused and polluted. People dispose of waste in rivers, lakes, and oceans, which harms the water's natural ability to clean itself. When too much waste is added, the water becomes polluted, looking dirty, smelling bad, and becoming unsafe for drinking or industrial use. So in the Philippines, especially in Metro Manila, water pollution is a very serious problem due to the lack of proper sewerage system. Rivers like Laguna Lake, Malabon River, and Pasig River have become heavily polluted and resemble open sewers. So personally, when I was in Manila, I saw and I experienced, and I also talked with people there about the old Pasig River. So before a widespread pollution, the Pasig River was a vital waterway in the Philippines, serving as major transportation, source of water, and place for fishing and bathing for residents of Spanish in Manila. However, right now, the Pasig River is very polluted na gyud siya. So, according to the people na naistorya na ako way back when I was in Manila, ang Pasig River daw ay dati is ginapangisdaan siya, ginakaliguan siya, but sad to say, as of now, very polluted na gyud siya. O personally, na-experience po na ako kung unsa na gyud siya ka-polluted kay even mulabay lang ka, mas smell gyud mo ang baho. Alright, so that means nga ang Pasig River is very polluted na gyud siya. Though ang atong former President Duterte gipalimpyuhan niya ang Pasig River, but dili gyud siya enough nga mabalik ang katong dati sa unang ginakaliguan siya o ginapangisdaan siya. So that's how polluted ang Pasig River. So what are the reason, the main reason nga nung polluted na ang ato ang mostly sa rivers in I know it's not just only in Metro Manila. Kabalo ko nga mostly talaga as of now ang nowadays ang mga rivers are very polluted na gyud siya. So according to the Environment Management, this data, this was from 2021. So dili ni siya updated na nanigikan sa libro. So 46 out of 228 rivers in the Metro Manila are polluted due to domestic and industrial waste. So in Metro Manila, about 85% of water pollution comes from household, while the rest of the water pollution come from industries. So rapid industrialization and population growth have led to a massive increase in waste. Water bodies are commonly used to dispose of water waste from homes, agricultures, industries, transportation, and even nuclear testing. These are the main reason of the water pollution, or the sources of the water pollution. Letter A, this would be a municipal sewage. So, what is municipal sewage? So, this comes from homes and factories, is a major source of water pollution. So, leading to foul smells and unhealthy conditions. So this is a serious pollution problem across the Asia Pacific region. Next one, that would be infectious agents. So, infectious agents in water are microorganism. When we say microorganism, these are, ito yung hindi nakikita literally ng ating mata. Like bacteria, viruses. So, these are the infectious agents in water. Ayan, yun yung mga microorganism na hindi natin nakikita. And the insects that breed in contaminated water. So, yung mga hindi natin, yung mga maliliit na mga insekto, these agents can cause serious diseases such as cholera, typhoid, and various gastrointestinal infections. So, since hindi natin siya nakikita, at sa water kasi pagka hindi natin alam na infectious pala ang water or may bacteria kasi since hindi natin nakikita siya kasi nga microorganism. So once na inom natin siya, so that will cause a serious diseases. So mo nang dili ta magpataka og inom og tubig kung wala ta kabalo nga safe siya. So, plant nutrients elements like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium promote plants' growth, but in excess from fertilizers, detergents, and domestic waste, they lead to overgrowth of algae and aquatic plants in rivers and lakes. When these plants die and decompose, they consume large amount of oxygen, causing oxygen depletion or nausea that harms aquatic life. So, as you can see, the rivers plants, or ito yung mga plants na tumutubo sa water, and kapag nasobrahan sila or na-damage sila due to the detergents, and domestic waste na napupunta sa water. So, that would be causing oxygen depletion, and that can harm the aquatic life. So, a specific case is red tide. So, as you can see, the pictures, once na-damage siya, because of domestic waste. So, once na-damage siya, so magkakaroon siya ng large amounts of oxygen, and it can causing depletion. So, madadamage siya. And after that, it will cause the specific case is red tide. So, makikita nyo sa water is nagiging pula siya. And this caused by blooms of dinoflagellates. So, ayan. So, nagkukause po siya ng red tide, which is hindi nakakain po yung mga specifically the tahong kapag may red tide. Kahit according to the book, that kahit lutuin pa siya, pakuluan, it is not enough na mapatay yung bacteria. which is very harmful. So another cause of water pollution would be the toxic chemicals. So what are those chemicals? So heavy metals like mercury, lead, cadmium, etc. Or from this chemicals came from or come from mining and industries, harm organisms, and disrupt biological processes. All right, so there are two types of toxic chemicals. So it has human activities like car emission, mining, and the natural process, or ito yung hindi siya human activities, which is natural process siya, natural na pangyayari na hindi human activities, is the volcanic eruption. And there are some area na meron na siyang natural mineral deposits, or meron na siyang chemicals na deposits. So, hindi siya human activities. Alright? So, toxic chemicals like heavy metals and oil slicks harm organism in specific ways. Heavy metals disrupt body processes by mimicking essential elements affecting the nervous system, blood, and metabolism. They're mainly from mining and industrial waste, with mercury poisoning notably affecting gold panners in Mindanao. So this mostly happen in Mindanao dahil meron tayong mga mining dito, especially sa atong sa Diwalwal, which is na mining. So that is one of the cause, or the causes of water pollution. Next is oil slicks. So oil slicks, ito po yung mga often happen from ships, or yung mga barko na nagdadala ng mga oil. So this can release toxic substances and block oxygen in water, so harming marine life and their behavior. So a 1990 oil spill in Bataan contaminated fishes areas, making fish unsellable due to the crude oil odor. So, once na may matapon na oil sa dagat, that's what we call the oil spill, and that can cause harm, or that can cause contaminated to the fish, or sa mga any marine life, like fish, kung unsa man nga nasa dagat, that can cause harm or contaminated to them, or even disrupt their habitat. So dili gid basta-basta no, once na ang oil matapon sa dagat, it is a very, hassle kaayo siya. So as you can see in the picture. So another cause of water pollution is the persistent substances. So contaminated water, or can contaminate water, harm ecosystem, and persist in environment. So that would be kapag, lalo na itong mga farmers natin ay gumagamit, usually most of the farmers nowadays gumagamit ng yung pang-spray, or even yung pang-spray para pampatay ng insekto, or pampatay ng mga damo, right? So that can cause also a water pollution. So it is very harmful since it is a chemical like pesticides and radioactive materials. They contaminate water, harm ecosystem, and remain in the environment for a long time due to slow breakdown. So pesticides dissolve in fat and accumulate in the fatty tissues of organism, causing damage through biological amplification. Their concentration increases as they move up the food chain because they degrade slowly. They pose long-term threats to both wildlife and human health. So very dangerous na siya, no? Even makatabang siya sa mga farmers, at the same time naapod siya effect or naapod siya cause or naapod disadvantage. Next, that would be radioactive materials. So, what is radioactive materials? So, radioactive materials, this came from mine tailings and nuclear waste. So, the emissionizing radiation that breaks down the atoms and molecules, causing serious biological damage. So, radioactive materials, this is this one of nga ginagamitan ani is ang medicine. Radioactive elements like strontium mimic calcium, allowing them to accumulate in bones, potentially leading to bone and blood cancers. So this can cause a serious biological damage. Kung makita natin, ginakani siyang radioactive materials, mostly ginagamit ni siya sa medical activities. This can harmful affect you to the human health. Yeah. So radioactive materials from mining and nuclear waste harmful to human health and aquatic life. So very harmful ni siya nga chemicals. So as you can see, ang nagagunit ani is kailangan naka fully attired yun sila nga dili nila malanghap ni kay grabe gyud ni siya og cause. So once lalo na pag maadto ni siya sa water, so this can cause us serious biological damage talaga. All right, so thermal pollution, this occurs when heat from the thermal or power nuclear plants released into nearby water bodies. So it lowers oxygen solubility and causes water to form layers, preventing oxygen from circulating to deeper parts. The increased temperature accelerates the metabolism of marine organisms and speed up waste decomposition, both of which consume more oxygen. So ito po yung heat galing sa mga nuclear power plant. And the more heat, the more na maglower po ang oxygen solubility. So this can affect, this can affect to the marine organism and speed up water decomposition. Yan. So, pag mainit po, usually, or syempre, pag sobrang init, yung oxygen ng water is babawa siya. And it can cause, the oxygen levels dropped and can harm the aquatic life and disrupting the balance of ecosystem. So that is one of the cause of water pollution. That is the thermal pollution. Ayan. So the next one that would be next one that would be the sediments, sand, and sleet. Yan. So, alright. So, when forests are destroyed, the protective cover of trees and plants that holds the soil in place will be, lost. As you can see the picture, kapag kasi ang mga puno is, kapag ang mga puno or ang mga kahoy is ginaputol nato gyud and wala na mabilin, or kung naoy mabilin is pipila na lang, dili na siya enough nga mo mo cover or mo gunit gyud sa yuta, so that can destroy, and also that can leads to soil erosion. So as you can see sa picture po is na kuan siya, ang yuta is na what do you call this one? So you can see sa photos is, or sa picture is medyo napanas po siya, dili na siya, kumbaga bawas na siya. So that can, because that can cause of soil erosion because of the forests are destroyed. So that is one of the causes of water pollution. And right, so if the forest destroyed, this can lead to soil erosion where rain easily, yan. So where rain easily washes sediments, sand, and silt into rivers or lakes and oceans. These particles cloud the water, making it turbid and settle on coral reefs, mangroves, or fishes, spawning grounds, smothering marine life, and disrupting ecosystem. So imagine nga naglandslide or na wash ang sediments or ang sand paingon dito sa dagat. So what will happen? So dito makaapekto siya sa mga coral reefs, sa mga mangroves, sa mga fish. So dako kay siyang effect that can, lead to the water pollution once ang atong forest is destroyed siya. So very kay siya, no, very dako kay siyang impact even as sa mga tao, even as nga mga tao naka-experience ta og baha because of the forest, our forests are already destroyed kay ginaputol ang atong mga kahoy. So very kay siya, very dako kay siyang impact, not just sa marine life but also as a human. So this situation worsen when people illegally farm or settle in forest watersheds, increasing erosions and the amount of sediment entering water bodies. This not only harm aquatic habitats, that's what I've said, but also can affect the quality of water used by communities. So dako kay siyang effect yun. Next, another one. All right, the inorganic substances. So what is inorganic substances? These are chemicals like mineral acids, salts, and metals, which typically come from acid mine drainage. So ito, mao ni siyang kanang mga napundo, or kanang napundo nga tubig, nga mga acid, nga na mga chemicals nga napundo lang, as you can see sa picture. Yeah, so makita ninyo nga ang water is very very polluted gid kaayo siya, no, because of the chemicals like mineral acids, salts, and which typically came from the mining or came from acid mine drainage, the outflow of acidic water from mining areas, or the intrusion of seawater into freshwater sources. So they have several negative impacts. The water turbidity, which affects aquatic organism by reducing light penetration and oxygen levels. They also degrade soil quality. Yan. Pag once napundo lang magud na siya, kanang tubig ganay chemicals, so that could degrade soil quality. Yan, ang quality sa yuta kuan gyud siya, maapektuhan jud ang yuta. Lalo na pagka nagstay lang na siya diha ang tubig nga naay chemicals. So, they also degrade soil quality, making agricultural. So, ang maapektuhan po ani is ang atong mga agricultural land, that it will be unproductive. Yan. So, dili na siya productive ang yuta once nga naay chemicals nga napundo dira or water nga with chemicals nga napundo dira. So, unproductive na siya. And by altering its chemical balance, in addition, these substances can poison aquatic life, disrupting entire ecosystem. So, kani-kaning mga water nga, napundo lang bitaw siya, with chemicals, daghan kay siya epekto. Unproductive siya. Kung magtanong ka, dili siya mohatag og maayong bunga. Of course, kay contaminated na siya. This can also poison aquatic life. Ayan. So, kung padulong ni siya sa dagat, padulong ni siya sa sapa, this can also poison aquatic life and disrupting entire ecosystem. So, dako kay siya effect sa atong life. No? So, we need to act as a human. We need to act something, para makatabang ta sa atong earth, makatabang ta sa atong water, sa atong ecosystem. All right? So that would be my report for today. And another reporter, he can explain the effect of water pollution to our life, or to the human life, and also to the ecosystem. So what is the effect of those causes of water pollution sa atong life and also to the ecosystem? So the next reporter will tackle about the effects of water pollution. So again, the water pollution would be a municipal sewage, infectious agents, plant nutrients, toxic chemicals, and persistent substances, radioactive materials, thermal pollution, and the last one, and the sediments, sand, and silt, and the last one, that would be inorganic substances. So that would be my report for today. I hope that you can get get some knowledge, and also I hope that we can act from this topic, or from this causes, or the main reason of the water pollution. I hope that we can do, or we can act something as a human to help our ecosystem. Thank you so much. This is Sarah Jane Armada. Have a great one. The water pollution would be a municipal sewage, infectious agents, plant nutrients, toxic chemicals, and persistent substances, radioactive materials, thermal pollution, and the last one, and the sediments, sand, and silt, and the last one, that would be inorganic substances. So that would be my report for today. I hope that you can get get some knowledge, and also I hope that we can act from this topic, or from this causes, or the main reason of the water pollution. I hope that we can do, or we can act something as a human to help our ecosystem. Thank you so much. This is Sarah Jane Armada. Have a great one.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Giancarlo Cortez Daba, and we are here to discuss the effect of water pollution. First discussion is human health. Polluted water causes diseases like cholera, typhoid, and dysentery. Contaminated tap water can lead to cancer, while pesticides and heavy metals like mercury, lead, cadmium harm health and cause disease like Minamata and Italtal. Water pollution poses a serious threat to human health, impacting individuals and communities worldwide. Contaminated water sources can lead to a range of illnesses, some acute and other chronic with severe consequences for overall well-being. Pollutants enter the human body through various pathways. Ingest, ingest, ingestion. Consuming contaminated water is the most direct route of exposure. This can happen through drinking water, using polluted water for cooking, or consuming contaminated food irrigated with polluted water. The second is skin contact. Swimming or bathing in polluted water can lead to a skin infection, rashes, and erosion. This is particularly concerning for vulnerable population such as children and elderly. Our second discussion is ecosystem. Water pollution Water pollution leads to eutrophication, causing algal bloom that depletes oxygen and kills aquatic life, or oil spill and plastic waste. Harm marine organisms, disrupt food chain, and damage habitat. Water pollution has a devastating impact on ecosystem, disrupting the delicate balance of life within them. Here's the breakdown of the key effect. So, water pollution can pollutant directly harm and kill aquatic organisms, including fish, plant, and invertebrate. Toxic chemical like heavy metal, pesticides, and industrial waste accumulate in their bodies, leading to deformities, reduced reproduction rates, and death. An oil spill coat the feather of bird and a grills of fish, making it difficult for them to breathe and survive. Pollution alters the natural balance of ecosystem, leading to the decline and extinction of sensitive species. This disrupts food webs, impacting predator-prey relationship and overall health of the ecosystem. Our third discussion is about economic cost of water pollution. Water pollution decrease fish catches, harm marine industries, etc. from farming, reduce tourism, and cause significant economic losses. Water pollution has a significant economic impact, imposing costs on individuals, communities, and governments worldwide. These costs stem from various sources, including health costs, treatment of whitebird disease. Contaminated water leads to increased healthcare costs due to the treatment of waterborne illnesses like cholera, typhoid, and dysentery. These diseases require hospitalization, medication, and long-term care, placing a burden on healthcare system. Reduce productivity. Illness caused by water pollution can lead to absenteeism from work and school, impacting productivity and economic output. This is particularly true in developing countries where access to clear water.
Good morning everyone, my name is Marvin J. Escatil and I will be reporting the treatment of water. Water hardness, temporary hardness or bicarbonates can be removed by boiling, while permanent hardness or chlorides and sulfates cannot, meaning hardness in water is caused by minerals like calcium and magnesium. Temporary hardness is caused by bicarbonates that can be removed by boiling. Example is boiling well water removes white deposits in kettles. Permanent hardness is caused by chlorides and sulfates. Boiling won't remove it. Example is some tap water stays hard even after boiling. Next is purification of drinking water. This involves screening, flocculation or the formation of clusters, sedimentation, filtration, and chlorination. Water is treated with copper sulfate to control algae and chlorine to disinfect, meaning this is the process of making water clean and safe to drink. Steps involve screening, removes large things like leaves and plastics. Flocculation, it adds chemicals to stick dirt together. Sedimentation or dirt clumps settle at the bottom. Filtration is the water passes through sand or filters to clean, and chlorination adds chlorine to kill germs. Example for this is water from river is purified at treatment plant before it reaches home. The copper sulfate is added to stop algae growth. Finally, we have sewage treatment. It includes primary treatment like screening, secondary treatment or biological oxidation, and advanced methods like the activated sludge process and biofilters to remove solid waste and harmful organisms, meaning cleaning dirty water from homes, factories, and toilets. This involves steps. Primary treatment removes the big waste like paper and plastic. Secondary treatment, the bacteria clean the water by breaking down waste, and advanced treatment has two types. We have the activated sludge. Air is added to help bacteria clean better, and biofilters filters with bacteria, removing the remaining waste. Example is wastewater from houses is cleaned before releasing it into rivers. All in all, water treatment is essential to ensure clean and safe water for drinking and daily use. It helps remove harmful substances, germs, and waste from both drinking water and sewage by using simple steps like boiling, filtration, and disinfection, and advanced methods like activated sludge and biofilters. We protect health and environment. Proper treatment of water supports better living and prevents diseases.
Water pollution is now one of the widespread and alarming issues that harm our environment, living species, and our health. Humans are a major factor in causing water pollution. However, us humans, as well as the government, can take significant actions to prevent water pollution and keep our water bodies healthy. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I am Chera Hala, and in this video reporting, I will be discussing the role of people and government to combat water pollution. The control of water pollution can best be accomplished through people and government actions. Now, let's start from explaining the role of government in combating water pollution. Pollution Control Law or Republic Act 3931, amended by Presidential Decree Number 984, established the National Pollution Control Commission or NPCC to monitor and address water pollution. Our government established laws that aims to prevent water pollution in our country or in the Philippines. So one of these laws is the Republic Act number 3931, also known as the Pollution Control Law, which was enacted in 1964 to address the growing concern of water pollution in the Philippines. This act aims to maintain the purity of our country's water para ma-ensure nga ang ato ang ginagamit nga tubig for agricultural, industrial, and even for recreational purposes kay limpyo ug dili makadaot sa tao. So through this act as well, na-established si NPCC or si National Pollution Control Commission, which has the responsibility to oversee the implementation of the pollution control law o para ma-enforce ni siya nga law. Kani si Republic Act number 3931. So if you were to ask, what are those duties of NPCC that aims to oversee and enforce the pollution control law? The NPCC conducted water quality monitoring of rivers and recreational waters like kanang mga beaches to safeguard the health of bathers and picnickers. Kay kung walay monitoring or wala ang NPCC, there's a possibility nga kanang atong ginaliguan nga mga beaches or rivers kay makakuha tag diseases ana like skin disease tungod kay hugaw ang tubig ug wala na monitor. Moreover, the NPCC urged all city, municipal, and provincial governments to constantly improve collection and disposal of garbage, as well as the information campaign to educate the public on the importance of proper waste disposal. So, mauna ang role ni NPCC under the Republic Act 3931 or the Pollution Control Law. Other laws have been enacted as well, such as the Presidential Decree 424, which created the NWRC or National Water Resources Council, which, according to what I've researched, it aims to regulate ownership, utilization, development, conservation, and protection of water resources. Alright, so we also have the Presidential Decree 1160 where the barangay captains, councilmen, and zone chairmen have given authority to enforce the laws including those concerning water use and those issues that contributes to water pollution. Like for example, si barangay captain, he has the ability or he has the authority to order his people from his community nga dapat dili maglabay og basura sa sapa or dili dapat buhatong labayanan og basura gud ang sapa kay makadaot man siya sa tubig makontaminate rather ang atuang tubig. And by that, we must follow that order from our barangay captain kay dili lang man na siya buhat-buhat. Oh, ni-follow gyud na sila sa Presidential Decree 1160 kay gihatagan man gyud sila authority nga kinahanglan nila i-enforce ang law nga Presidential Decree 1160 kay gihatagan man gyud sila authority nga kinahanglan nila i-enforce ang law nga Presidential Decree 1160. Another, we also have the Presidential Decree 856, also known as the Code on Sanitation of the Philippines. So this Presidential Decree authorized the Department of Health or the DOH. I believe alam nyo na kung ano yung DOH, diba? So yes, this Presidential Decree authorized the Department of Health to protect the public from hazard that may be caused or brought about by water pollution. Like for instance, under the Presidential Decree 856, ginamandate niya si DOH or si Department of Health na dapat i-enforce ang water quality standards where water sources must undergo initial and periodic examination para ma-ensure nga limpyo ang tubig before siya i-open for public use. Like for example, water sources like rivers and lakes must undergo examination para mabalaan kung safe ba siya gamiton para sa mga tao, para pud mabalaan kung naabay present na mga bacteria or chemicals aron ma-avoid nato ang serious illnesses. Furthermore, other agencies like the FPA or the Fertilizer and Pesticide Authority, the PAG-ASA, which is the Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical, and Astronomical Services Administration, as well as the Metropolitan Waterworks and Sewage System or MWSS, have also been empowered to protect the environment. These laws that I've mentioned, such as the Presidential Decree 424, The Presidential Decree 1160 and the Presidential Decree 856 helps regulate water use, empower local leaders, and protect public health from water pollution. Now, let's move on to the role of people in combating water pollution. So at this point of time, we would know the actions that we can do to mitigate and prevent the water pollution in our country. Alright, number one, avoid throwing garbage and plastics into rivers and estuaries everywhere. We must avoid throwing garbage anywhere without proper disposal. Avoid throwing plastic materials and other non-biodegradable materials in bodies of water. Us humans must be disciplined and responsible. And lastly, participate in cleaning efforts and promote proper waste disposal. Yes, support and participate community activities such as clean-up drive, participating or initiating and helping cleaning our rivers, oceans, lakes, and other bodies of water to avoid water pollution and keep us away from illnesses. So, by consistently following these actions, we can ensure a healthy environment that will also impact our good health. And I believe that is all about my report for the role of people and government to combat water pollution. In conclusion, water pollution is a critical issue that affects both human health and the environment. Understanding its causes, sources, and impact is essential for developing effective solutions. Through collective efforts from both individuals and the government, we can mitigate the damage, promote better waste management, and ensure a sustainable and safe water supply for future generations. It's our responsibility to protect this vital resource for the well-being of all living organisms. Before I end this video reporting, I want to leave a quote for you all. Clean water is not just a necessity, but a responsibility. Protecting it is not only crucial for our health, but for the survival of generations to come. Thank you for listening. God bless.